Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and doing another Phantom Modern Masters draft. Alright, we got Entreat the Angels. Yeah, I mean, I played this card back in, what was it, Avacyn Restored? Is that what it was? Is that the Miracle set? Can't even remember anymore. It's been too long. I assume because that was an angel-related set, but I might be wrong. Either way. I did play it in Limited before. It's also made its way into Cube. It's a very powerful card, so we're going to first pick it. I mean, 5 mana for a 4/4 for one 4/4 White Angel is very good. If you can miracle it out late game and get 1,000,000 of them, more power to you. What else is in this pack? Burning Tree Emissary, Ground Assault, Opportunity, a Signet, the Cage Trap, which seems okay. Couple other decent cards, but we're going to start her off right with the Entreat. So, what do we have to follow up? We have Mind Shatter, which is definitely powerful. Make your opponent discard a bunch of cards randomly. Yeah, it's a powerful effect. What else do we have? Falconwrath Noble, which I love. A couple Signets, a Guildgate. Do we go triple white into double black? It seems pretty awkward. But, I mean, otherwise what, like a Sylvan Ranger? There's really nothing here that's, like, great. We could just take the Guildgate because we want to play Entreat. So, maybe find a red card worth splashing for. I feel like the Mind Shatter's probably worth it. If you can get a Signet and make your opponent discard some cards, it can be very good. I think it is good. Well, I love Arachna Spinner, and I'm hoping that last draft you watched made you fall in love with it too, because it really is a powerful card. Wing Splicer's in here too. This card's good. So there's also Primal Command, though. This card is really good too. I almost think I like Spinner more, by the way. But they're both rares. Like, I would say Spinner is probably better. This lets you search for a creature. I feel like most of the time it's either going to be gain 7, search for a creature, or search for a creature, put a creature on top. But you're never going to really shuffle the graveyard into the library unless you're getting milled out or something. I mean, there's also Arcane Sanctum to fix for our 2 rares, but Spinner was so good to me before, I kind of want to take it again. Because I don't think the webs are going to be too hard to get. And a 6 mana 5/7 reach is also just really good. We're going to take the Spinner. You can splash for Spinner, but then I guess you can't really splash for the webs, because that'd just be awkward. So there's a Sin Collector, which is a good card. Here's Zur the Enchanter. I mean, I did tell a commenter I would try and build around it. What am I passing for it? Like a Noble, which I do think is very good, a Sin Collector, a Hookmaster. We can take the Zur and speculatively try and make it work. You have to attack with Zur to get it. Wish this card was better. It does synergize reasonably well with the Spinner, since it works with the web, despite not being on color. We'll take Zur here. I'm regretting it already. Cavern of Souls. Well, we have a spider and a human wizard right now. I don't think that's going to work. It also does not... No, it does add colorless. It's probably not what we need, though. So... yeah, I don't know what we like here and what we don't. Tandem Lookout is actually a pretty good card. Tandem Lookout might be the pick, actually. There's also Ether Toe, which is removal. I feel like the Lookout's probably better, though. This effect is actually really strong, especially when it comes out of nowhere, which Lookout kind of lets you do. It's a good way to get card advantage, maybe. We're going to try it. We're going to take it here. We are all over the place. So we can take the Guildgate now. There's a Mystical Teachings. There's a Penumbra Spider, which does synergize with the spinner. We have a Slime Molding. We can take the Guildgate, just get some fixing. I think that's going to work for me while we try and figure out what our million color deck is doing. So we've got a couple more Guildgates now. So we could take the Orzhov to help for the white. Maybe start to move towards Esper. Another Kraken Noble, like I said. Noble is very good. There's also Rakdos Guildgate. We're not in red, though. We'll take the Orzhov Guildgate. Augur can find our rare stuff, I guess, but it's okay. So now, Gnawing Zombie, which I think is okay. Gift of Orzhova, which I think is okay, but... And a Spell Pierce, which might be alright as well. We'll take the zombie. So we can take the Golgari Guildgate. Jailbreaker is going to get a lot better with these Guildgates. 4 mana, 4/4. Pretty efficient. Probably want the Golgari Guildgate if we want to make the spinner work, but do we want to play the spinner, I guess, is the real question now. Because we're already in 4 colors, I guess. We'll take the Golgari Guildgate anyway. Get our fixing on. So we can take a Centaur Healer. I guess we'll take it. It's pretty color intensive, but we may not splash the spinner and maybe stick to... Well, would we splash for a healer then? Probably not. Chill's not great in a deck like this. It's okay. It's better when you're trying to tempo people out. We'll take the healer. Okay, so now we can take Pitfall Trap, we can take Shimmering Grotto. Pitfall Trap is removal, which we currently don't have. Shimmering Grotto makes everything more expensive, which I'm not a huge fan of. But it does fix for us. So I guess we'll take it. Although, well, it's not as sexy as I'd like, but we'll take it. Okay, we got the Sin Collector back. I guess we'll take it. So we're just 4-color go. All right, this should be interesting. Take the Recover. I guess we have some creatures we'd like to bring back. Zur currently looks terrible until we actually find something. So this only finds instants or flash cards, which means it does not find Entreat or Mind Shatter. But I guess we'll take it anyway. All right. That was a weird pack one. Advent of the Worm. Yeah, it's good. We probably want this Arcane Sanctum. There's also Seaside Citadel. Both of these are useful. Here's our Arachnus Web, which I do still want. There's a Forbidden Alchemy. Cower and Fear, which is a little token killer. I think we'll just take the Sanctum, though. We got to make our mana good if we're going to play ridiculous deck here. And then find another web later, I guess. This should be interesting. So there's a Thragtusk. Yeah, well, if we're splashing Spinner, we're splashing Thragtusk, right? I love Thragtusk. There's also Compulsive Research, which is very strong, but I'd rather have Thragtusk. It's just so much value packed into one card. So we'll take it. Currently, we have nothing for Zur the Enchanter. Well, here we go. Seal of Doom. So Seal of Doom is actually something we can find off Zur, right? Okay. Savage Lands, which fixes for 2 of our things, but there's also another Golgari Guildgate. We can't have too many tap lands or else we're just never going to play our spells. I think we'll just take the Seal of Doom. Kills things. Works with Zur. I like it. Another Zur the Enchanter. Well, if you didn't think one was enough, we'll probably take the Path over the second one. Can't really deny a 1-mana deal with any creature. Especially one you can find a mystical teaching, find with mystical teachings. It's pretty useful. Although mystical teaching's not looking so good right now. So it looks like maybe we don't want to be in blue. In which case, what? We're junk. Yeah, junk might be the better route. We can still end up playing this too. We just don't need the Dimir Guildgate. That is if we cut blue, but we might want to play Zur. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. Here's an Esper card. 4-mana 4/4 flyers. Also Gideon's Lawkeeper. Probably want the Tower Gargoyle though. 4-mana 4/4 flyer is legitimately just very good. It's very strong. I love the Lawkeeper. Don't get me wrong, but this is a nice finisher. Although then I guess we are back on the Esper Splash Green plan. I'm still okay with the Esper Splash Green plan. It's everything but red. We are a color-intensive deck, aren't we? Lawkeeper's cheap, which is nice. We're kind of looking like an 18 land deck right now for playing all these colors, but I'll take the Gargoyle. So Wayfaring Temple. We don't have enough creatures to really justify this, although it does sort of just, if you can hit, you make itself bigger. Vital Splicer's pretty good. Mist Raven's too color intensive. Probably want this Sylvan Ranger, although we are splashing green, which makes it more awkward, but if we're a mix of the 4 colors, it could pan out. I mean, we are sort of just a mix of... I think the most awkward is the Entreat the Angels, to be honest, but we'll take Sylvan Ranger because why not? Okay, so now we can take the Lawkeeper over the Grasp. Should work okay. This is a crazy deck. So we can take Forbidden Alchemy and we can flash it back. We can play Unflinching Courage. We don't have a ton of bodies for it. I mean, at the very least, this deck looks fun, right? So we could take the Talon Trooper. Just get more color intensity. I mean, we're going to need a few more creatures, I guess. Yeah, it's like Alchemy versus Courage here. Guess we'll take the Alchemy. So currently it looks like Zur is not going to make the deck. Another geez. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their... No. I mean, it's okay. That's kind of weird that this is in here, actually. It's like more color intense divination. There's not really a mill plan, is there? We could take the Cower and Fear. Double black seems like it's going to be difficult. I still might be off blue. I haven't decided yet. There's another tandem Lookout, though. Well, let's go on the Lookout plan. I feel like they're pretty awesome if you can get in, right? We'll just play 4 color. I'm okay with that. So we'll take the Banishing Stroke here. It's pretty good, too, actually. We did not get that web back, by the way. All right, now we can take the Guildgate. There's Bone Splinters. We don't... I mean, we have a Sylvan Ranger, which is worth doing it, too. I guess a Sin Collector would be fine, but not a lot else. I think we'll take the Guildgate. Just get an absurd amount of fixing here. We have all tap lands, so we're going to be a bit slow. I'm kind of off Shimmering Grotto only because our deck is kind of expensive. Inquisition doesn't seem great. We could take the Seal, I guess. Yeah, I don't think Graceful Reprieve is all that good either. I don't think I want to main deck the Seal if I can prevent it. All right, I guess we'll take a Spell Pierce. I mean, we're okay. We're in okay shape. I mean, we're 4 colors, so it's going to be pretty difficult not to find enough playables. Sever the Bloodline is a pretty awesome card. There's another Seal of Doom, which would help with our Zur the Enchanter plan, but I think Sever is more useful. It just deals with more things, and you can flash it back, and which is just seems a lot better when you're playing, when we're likely playing 18 lands. But Seal of Doom is good. Destroy target non-black you don't see too often anymore. Nowadays, it's just destroy whatever, or exile. So we can take the Sever, or we can take the Seal. The Seal is going to work better with Zur. Yeah, it is true. We could still try and hope that Zur works, but how many enchantments do I... I'd like 3, I guess, if I'm going to play a super color-intensive 1/4 flyer. This is a token killer, which is actually pretty cool. It also works well with all the blink cards, obviously. Agent of Masks, which doesn't excite me that much. It's okay. So Sever versus Seal of Doom. Seal of Doom solely for Zur the Enchanter synergy. I feel like Sever is probably just better, because I don't necessarily want to play Zur anyway. So Zur Mage is good. More card advantage. Demir's Signet lets us ramp, though. I think we probably want that. I love Noble, too. There's also a Selesnya Guildgate. But I think we're going to take the Demir's Signet. So there's another Signet, Abyssal Spectre, Agony Warp, Coiling Oracle. All of these are playable. There's Selesnya Guildgate, another Gnawing Zombie, another Sylvan Ranger, too. Sylvan Ranger might just be what our deck sort of needs to make sure that we have all of our colors. And even Sylvan Ranger into Tandem Lookout can work well. This deck is so greedy. Could also take the Selesnya Guildgate, like I said. We'll take the Sylvan Ranger. So we can take Sin Collector number 2. There's also a Sensor Splicer. Ether Toe. What's our removal? Path, Lawkeeper, Seal of Doom. I think Recover can go. Probably just don't need this. Banishing Stroke. We've got removal in here. We're fine on removal. So we can take a third Sylvan Ranger or a second Sin Collector. I mean, I don't mind going deep on Sylvan Rangers. Because like I said, we're probably going to need some fixing if we're actually going to make Entreat work. Alright. We wheeled Sin Collector last time anyway. So now we can take Ether Toe, Gnawing Zombie, Gift of Orzhova. We do have some life gain already, right? Centaur Healer and Thragtusk. Gnawing Zombie, I guess, is cool with the Sylvan Rangers. It kind of blocks early, too, which is nice. But maybe we want this Grasp of Phantoms, too. I like getting all these value cards. Grasp isn't great outside of Tempo, but it's fine. I like it more than Ether Toe, I think. And the question is really just, do I want the Gnawing Zombie because it's like a cheap blocker for 2 power guys? I think we'll take it. Grasp is possibly better, but I'll take the Gnawing Zombie. All right, Denrova Horror is, of course, good. There's a Jailbreaker, which, I mean, 4 Guildgates is going to be enough. Corpse Connoisseur. We don't have Burial Rites. That's not going to work as well. I don't think we can do anything from our graveyard. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to find an Arachnus Web. We had our one shot and did not pan out. So we can take the Guildgate now, which would help with the Entreat. But I kind of want this Denrova Horror. This card is pretty awesome. So I think I'm going to take it. So we can take the Guildgate now, or we can take the Orzhov Signet. We can probably play 17 lands if I play double Signet, right? That kind of makes sense to me. Slight U5 artifacts too? Just enchantments, huh? So Orzhov Guildgate doesn't actually take up a slot in the deck, but I feel like with 5 tap lands, we're pretty good on tap lands. Like a third of our mana base is going to be tap lands. I'm going to take the Signet. We want some more ramp and fixing for Entreat and stuff like that. Because we are playing Entreat. Believe you me. On Burial Rites? Yeah, we want this now. So we could have had the Connoisseur with it, but that's actually not a big deal at all. Definitely playing on Burial Rites with what we've got, though. On Burial Rites with Thragtusk is just so good. So we can take the Slave Driver. This card's okay. We can take the Mist Meadow Witch. We don't have a ton of Enter the Battle. Well, it's pretty amazing with Thragtusk. It's good with Centaur Healer. It's good with Sin Collector. It's good with, I guess, Tandem Lookout. It's okay with Sylvan Ranger. This deck card is actually kind of cool for our deck, but it is a 2-mana 1/1. I think we'll still take it over the Slave Driver anyway. We probably have enough top end. So we can take the Guildgate now. We can take a Wing... No, not the Wingcrafter. I thought it was the other one for a second. Aristocrat. Don't really need that. Hookmaster's okay, but we'll take the Guildgate. So we could take a Tended Knight or Abyssal Spectre. Abyssal Spectre is cool because it flies, but it is double black. Not that we aren't already running a double black card, but yeah, I guess I'll take Spectre over Knight. That just seems wrong to take the Knight. We did get the Sin Collector back, okay. Got the grass back. That's cool. I mean, our deck is sweet in terms of card quality, but in terms of are we actually going to be able to make this deck work? That, of course, is the real question. Our fixing is good, though. Like, I feel like we got more than enough fixing. And we're not going to do Shimmering Grotto. I don't really like the idea of doing a tap. I mean, we are 4 colors, so it's possibly justifiable, but this many tap lands, I'm not in love with it. And with double Signet, triple Ranger, I'm considering 17 lands, but that might be greedy. Zur has to go, unfortunately. I think Alchemy is going to go, too. Like, Alchemy is actually pretty amazing with Unburial Rites, but we can afford to cut 2 creatures. Do I want to run Arachnus Spinner? You know what's funny? We can easily just cut green from this deck, except the Thragtusk. That leaves us pretty creature light, though. I guess Entreat's a creature. Yeah, you know what? We probably just want to... Wait, what does Mystical Teachings find? Path. Stroke. That's it. Mystical Teachings can go. Oh, Centaur Healer, too. This is just weird. This is a weird deck. I mean, finding extra lands is actually helpful for us because of Entreat and Mind Shatter, I guess, to a certain extent. But, yeah, we're in a bit of an awkward spot here. Huh. What are all of our enter the battlefield effects? Sylvan Rangers, Sin Collectors, Tandem Lookout sort of, Centaur Healer. We actually have a fair amount of flyers, which I think makes the lookouts a lot better. It's good card advantage. It might mean we don't need the Forbidden. And Spinner in this deck, like I said, is basically just a 6-mana 5/7, which isn't terrible. It's not... Well, it's actually pretty good still. 6-mana 5/7 reach does block the world. And we have a way to ramp into it, although not color-wise. It's still a fine thing to bring back with Unburial Rites. So I got to make some cuts here. We probably cut the Witch. It just seems a bit... I mean, I love what it does with Thragtusk. Just every turn gain 5. I mean, that is like a combo. It's just pretty amazing. And like I said, it's a token killer. It's just utility enough where I think I like it. So I think I want to cut the Forbidden. Card advantage-wise, we have flashback spells as well as tandem lookouts with some evasion. So I don't think that we need the Forbidden Alchemy. We can cut at least 3 creatures, though, because of Entreat. So triple Sylvan Ranger, it's probably not necessary. And even double Gnawing Zombie is probably not necessary either. We're doing better things later, so let's cut the Gnawing Zombie. Let's cut a Sylvan Ranger. And then we want to cut 2 more cards, probably. I'm willing to do 17 lands because we have double Signet, double Ranger. And all the Guild Gates. All the tap lands. 6 tap lands, so... You know, more than a third of our mana base is going to be tap lands, which isn't great, but... So yeah, 2 more cuts. Is it I mean, we have all these flashback spells, so we have good card advantage. I can cut 1 more creature. The only reason I like the healer is it just feels like we're going to need to gain some life to buy some time to get to our Entreat. Is Mind Shatter not worth it? I mean, I second picked it, so I kind of want to play it just for that reason, but maybe that's not a great reason to play it. It probably is just powerful, though, off Signet. Just making your opponent randomly discard can be brutal. Maybe we go to 1 Sylvan Ranger. We could also cut both Sylvan Rangers, have 14 creatures with the Entreat, and probably still be fine on green. Yeah, we're probably still fine on green fixing. All right, we're off the Sylvan Ranger plan. And the only reason I'm playing Gnawing Zombie is because I feel like it blocks well early, and late it might be able to win you the game. Like if I've done enough damage, at a certain point you can just sack some creatures and win. And maybe if they have some sort of pacifism effect, you can sack it and then unbarrel rights whatever you sacked back. Our removal is actually okay, right? Path, Seal, Sever, Grasp, Unbarrel, or Banishing Stroke, Horror, Lawkeeper. Like, this deck is not bad. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. All right, let's sort by color. This should be interesting, right? They're like, oh yeah, what do you want? So this is white or blue, so I guess it can go over here. This is white and black. So I guess we need... This requires blue. This requires green. Jeez. We are like such an unhealthy mix of 4 colors. So we're lightest in green, which we kind of already knew. I think between the 3 green guild gates, we could run probably 1 forest and be fine. Yeah. Since we got rid of the other things, right? So, So we need quite a bit of white and black, and then some blue. So let's count our sources already. We've got. Let's start with white. So currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4 white sources. I will count the signet. We have 4 white sources. We have 1, 2, 3 blue sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black sources already. So 4, 3, 7, and then green sources we have 1, 2, 3. 3 green sources. So 4, 3, 7, 3. And we can add how many lands to our deck? We can add 11 lands. So we have 4 white sources already. So this would be 7 white sources, 5 blue sources, 11 black sources, which is definitely excessive, so we can move that around. Although we do have a couple double black, and 5 green sources, right? So we can, if we cut back to 9 black sources, we can go up to 8 white and 6 blue. So this would be 8 white. Sorry for all the counting, but when you're playing 4-color decks, this is kind of how it goes down. So we'll do a final count to make sure that I didn't screw it up. Thankfully, we're not on the clock, but this is 4 plains, 5, 6, 7, 8 white, and I think it should be 6 blue, right? So 1, 2, 3. Was I wrong? So this one looks like I was wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6 it is. Okay, so 6 blue. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black, and 5 green. That seems like enough to me to do everything we want to do. I think we have all the colors we're going to need. This deck is very strange. Very, very strange. I don't even know if it's necessarily cohesive. It's kind of like good stuff go. You know, honestly, the Entreat's probably going to be the most difficult thing to play because we need double white to miracle it, right? So it'd be a bummer if we couldn't miracle it. I'm trying to think of, am I supposed to play 18 lands for the sole reason that I've got these like big mana sinks, but I am playing double Signet, which 2 Signets maybe come out to like an 18th land. Our mana is surprisingly good for how crazy color-wise our deck is. I kind of feel like running it like this. Like we have enough top end, right? We have some evasion. We've got card advantage. We've got removal. I don't know what's... Besides the fact that we're playing 4-color, I don't exactly know what's wrong with our deck. At the very least, it should be exciting to watch, right? Because look how crazy this deck is. Look at how crazy this deck is. All right, I guess we're running it like this. I don't know exactly what else to do. So yeah, we're playing some weird, spicy little 4-color brew here. I have no idea how this... I think we could get lucky and destroy, or we could just get crushed by aggro. So I guess we'll find out. 4-color craziness. Here we go. I guess the question is, I'm still kind of thinking, do I want to go up to 9? Eight white for entreat. It's a little bit greedy, I cannot lie. But I think I'm going to settle on that. I think I'm going to settle for 8 white. Okay. Yeah. Here's a deck, all right. All right, we'll see you round 1.